Hi, everybody. Welcome to the KC CHIROpulse podcast, brought to you by CATS Consultants, helping doctors keep their pulse on success. I'm Dr. Michael Perusich, and I'm joined today with my good friend, Dr. Troy Fox. Troy, how are you today?
Doing fantastic. How are you today?
If I was any better, I'd be somewhere else.
That is great. Yeah, it's been beautiful outside at the time of us recording. It's been even in Kansas, it's been 60 degrees. Oh my gosh. I mean,
Wow.
wow. Yeah, that's like springtime weather in the middle of January.
That's
So yeah,
amazing.
beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
gorgeous here,
so
too. I think we're going to be hovering up in the upper 70s, probably.
oh, rub it in, rub
Right.
it
I
in.
know,
It's
right?
okay. You're going to be sweating. I'm going to be comfortable at 60 degrees.
Yeah.
So let me tell you, we got a question. This is a question. We've
Awesome.
discussed this topic from a couple of different directions before, but we keep getting questions on it. And I think
Mhm.
there's a lot of concern. And there's also a lot of trepidation when it comes to this topic. And so the question was from Jose. Jose is practicing in Texas. And Jose said, when I have talked to my professors from school, and I'm a fairly new graduate, when I've talked to my professors from school, they have really pushed that I need to be on insurance programs, but you guys seem to talk a lot about cash. And I want to understand where you guys are coming from and why you think that cash is a superior option at this point. Or do you feel like I need to be on both and maybe I just misunderstood? So, really good question.
Excellent
I
question.
think, again, I think he was listening. I think he heard us, but I think people are scared sometimes to step out on the limb. So,
Mhm.
I'm going to let you take this one away and tell us what I run a cash practice and I think it's
Right.
great,
Yeah. My
but
practice is all cash, too.
I want you to take the lead on this for a little
You
while
bet.
and kind of give us the 30,000 foot overview of why you think that cash practice is king right now.
Well, first off, Jose, thank you for sending the question in. And hook 'em horns, I'm a Texas boy too. This is a great question. And we hear this a lot right now. And probably for what, Troy, the last 2 or 3 years, we've been
Mm-hmm.
preaching, you've got to go more cash. You've got to go more cash.
Right.
Because I'm going to pose a very simple question back to the doctors that are listening. Do you believe that insurance reimbursement is going to go up or go down in the future? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's probably going down. The chances of all of a sudden Blue Cross or CMS turning around saying, you know what, we've done you guys wrong. We're going to give you a 20% increase in your reimbursement. It didn't happen,
Oh,
guys. It didn't
oh
happen at
my.
all. All they're going to do is make you continue to write off more and more and more and more of your services, which puts you in a precarious situation. You've got to make a profit because I doubt any of you are intentionally not for profit businesses. And it
Mm-hmm.
puts you in a precarious situation of how do I make more profit off of my patients if insurance companies are making me write so much of it off? Well, the only way you have
Mm-hmm.
control over your income today is in your cash services. So,
Yes.
can you be a mix of insurance and cash? Yes, you can. But my feeling is, and Troy, you just said it a second ago, your practice is all cash. My practice
Mm-hmm.
was all
Yeah.
cash. Um, Living in a cash world is a very great, comfortable place to be. And think about it this way. I hear a lot of people say, well, I need to be on insurance because insurance, they refer patients to me. Patients go and look and see me on their insurance panel.
Mm-hmm.
I got news for you. That's not really the case.
Yeah.
What happens is patients call your office to find out if you're on insurance, and
Mm-hmm.
you automatically think, well, if I'm not on their insurance, when they call, the answer is going to be no, and they're going to hang up and go somewhere else. Well,
Not
you
true.
don't, you, that's not true. It's not true at all. Here's what you have to do. If you're going to be an all cash practice, which I think is, again, I think it's the best way to go. If you're going to be an all cash practice, you've got to learn how to talk value. You've got to learn how to present your care plans and chiropractic in the framework of value. Chiropractic care has no value to patients when they're using their insurance. At least they don't
Mm-hmm.
think it does. And
Mm-hmm.
it's not a conscious thought. They just think, oh, my insurance is going to cover it. And, does it cover it? No, not very well, but they don't understand the EOB and how much you're having to write off or how much you're getting capped by some of the insurance companies and things. And so the insurance patient is very disengaged from care. In fact, they drop out more frequently than the cash patient does because the cash patient is involved in care. They want to get the value out of care.
Right. Here's
And
another big, I was going to say, here's another big one that adds on to that. Not only from an insurance standpoint, here's the other side of the coin, notes and audits.
Yeah.
And here's why I like cash practice. It's not because, all of a sudden I don't have to take notes. No, we all know that isn't true. Well, some people like to think that's true.
Yeah, no,
that's not the truth. But here's where the difference lies. Rather than me fighting a big insurance company to try to comply with whatever they think is the golden the golden rule for a note, which if you've ever gone through an audit and you've had to fight with the insurance company, sometimes you scratch your head trying to figure out, what do they want?
Yeah.
What in the world do they want? My notes are great. What do they want? Now, if I'm dealing with a state board, there's a minimum that I have to meet, right? I have to be able to meet that with my notes. So when I'm in cash practice, I already know where the goalposts are at. Nobody's going to move them on me. Nobody's going to go, oh, yeah, okay, great note, but that's a canned note because it's computer generated. Or great note, but I can't read it because it's illegible because you wrote it by hand. Those are the things that we used to hear back when they first started doing things with notes. They would vacillate back and forth. The first year you would handwrite a note and no, that's illegible. You need computer notes. The next year you do a computer note and they'd go, oh, that note's canned. Yeah, that's computer no generated either. You couldn't win with the insurance company. But with the cash practice, that's the other thing that I love is if I document and well document and tell the story about my patient and I treat it just like they are on insurance. I want to know ADLs. I want to know how my patient is improving. I still want to do all those things, but guess what? The burden is easier to achieve because the goalposts don't move. So that's one thing I really love about cash practice. I don't need an insurance person chasing down my money anymore because myself and the patient, let's use proper grammar, right? Myself and the patient have already come to an agreement that the care has value. This is the value. And I do my job, you do yours, and I get paid. And that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I like your analogy of the goalposts. And there's another set of goalposts too that you get to stay within in a cash practice. And your staff is going to love this one. How many calls do they take a day? Do you take my insurance? Do you take Blue Cross? We'll use that one. Do you take Blue Cross? Yeah. Yes, we do. Great. How much is the first day going to be and how much is an adjustment?
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be between 35 and 50 for the adjustment, and your exam's going to be between 95 and 125. You can't give a straight answer because there's 270 million different plans under Blue Cross.
Right.
And they all reimburse differently. How great is it when you can tell the patient, well, your first day services will be 125 and the adjustments on a daily basis could be either 20 if you're on our discount program or 40 if you're not.
Yeah.
Easy, done. And here's the great thing about that. When patients understand the finances, they're much more likely to stay in care. That may go against your grain of thought because so many of us are in that insurance mindset of, well, the patients are going to think I'm paying this big premium for my insurance policy. I want to be able to use it. Most patients don't care whether they use their insurance or not. They don't get it. They don't understand it. And if you show them the value of chiropractic care, they'll happily pay you. And here's the great thing. When they understand the finances, they'll even come in more often.
I can tell you unequivocally, if you're listening today, my cash patients come in more often than my insurance patients ever did.
Yeah.
Because I'll say, here's what I'm thinking. I think blah, blah, blah. And they'll be like, well, do you mind, Doc? I'm going to be going out of town here in 10 days. Do you mind if I come in a week instead? instead of waiting 3 weeks or 2.5 weeks. I'd like to come in at this time. Now, the other one thing I want to throw out here real quick too, is for those of you that are on the fence, because some of you are balancing on the fence post in between insurance and cash, right? And you're going, okay, how do I do this? How do I, how do I bill insurance? And then how do I have a cash price that's different and maintain being legal? Because that is important that we maintain being legal, right? So you
Very
can't
much
have
so.
a dual fee schedule.
Nope.
There's this little thing called CHIROpulse.
Yeah.
Anybody familiar with that, Dr. Perusich?
Yeah, Chiro Health USA. I mean, it's a great
Now,
program, and it's a third-party administrative program that allows you to house a separate cash fee schedule legally in your practice. So
that's exactly what I wanted you to say, because
yep.
that now allows me to host a cash practice within a practice. So if you just cannot let go of Medicare and you just can't let go of your Blue Cross people and you go, I just can't do that. I can't go 100% cash. Well, I tell you what, you can still house that other fee schedule within CHIROpulse. And that's really important, because now you're on the legal side of the law and you're not doing what's called a dual fee schedule, which is illegal. You can't do that. So you're either going to have to work with a provider like CHIROpulse, or you're going to have to jump off the fence one side or the other.
Yeah. And I'll ask you a question. What are you doing with your maintenance patients? If are you trying to play the insurance game and juggle the diagnosis and change it here and there just so you can keep the patient coming in every 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks? Insurance companies are on to you. I guarantee you. They have so many algorithms tracking your billing and are billing collectively. They know exactly what you're doing. So when you have a program like CHIROpulse and you're putting patients on it from the get-go, when they get to maintenance, guess what? They have a backup quote insurance end quote that they can fall back on, and you're compliant then as well, because your maintenance care 99% of the time is not covered by insurance. So quit trying to play that game.
And you'll notice,
well, I was going to say,
patients. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, we're finding more and more that the average patient is paying about 74 to 80% of the care out of pocket already. You're already a cash practice. And you may not even realize it. So why be tied down for that 20 to 24% of your billing? Why be tied so hard to the insurance company who all they want to do is come and take the money back? And when they want to, they'll find a way.
Yeah. And what I was going to say with this, you were talking about the 74 to 80%. There is a real freedom for your patients when they start paying cash for services and realize that they're paying a reasonable amount for cash services and that they are in control, not there, because they're always going, well, I don't know how many visits I have left, or will insurance pay for this? That, those are the big questions. People, you don't have to ask that question anymore. Now it's already known. It's between me and you. As the doctor, I'm telling you, hey, you slipped and fell on the ice outside. I really believe that we need to probably put you on a short treatment schedule 3 times a week for the next couple of weeks. And the patient goes, okay. There's no question about it. They already know, and they go, okay, what days and what times? And at that point, we're pulling out phones and tablets and we're scheduling. We're not worried about whether insurance is going to pay for it or not. And my patients think that's fantastic. And here's what I see with cash patients that I never saw with insurance. With insurance, if I put them on a schedule, at the end of that schedule, they were happy as a lark to get off of that schedule. They were done. Because they were afraid we were going to exceed the limits of insurance or something. Now that we're on cash, here's what I'll see. I'll see that patient 3 times a week for a couple of weeks, and we'll rehabilitatively start putting some motion back in the joint. We'll get to the end of that, and the patient will go, Doc, I feel like I'm at about 75% right now. Could we do this for another week? They will come to you and actually request more care.
Sure.
I know it's a shocker, but it's absolutely true. It's a very freeing experience to run a cash practice because I'm not pushing my patients. I give them recommendations. They sometimes come back to me and give me more recommendations. They go, well, Doc, what do you think? Blah, 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 based on how I feel.
The transition to cash is very counterintuitive So,
It
and,
is.
and if you're an insurance-based practice, I know the question was from somebody going into practice. And
Mhm.
yeah, I recommend that you start your practice out as cash. Just make sure
Mhm.
you've got a coach that can help you do it correctly,
Where could we
because
find one of those?
catsconsultants.com.
We do work a lot with cash
We do. We do. I
practices.
mean, it's
Yeah.
not all we do, obviously, but
Mhm.
more importantly, if you're an insurance-based practitioner right now and you're thinking about going more cash or all cash, do it correctly. There's a right way and a wrong way. You can really jack your practice up if you do
Yep.
it the wrong way. So don't just say, okay, well, next Monday I'm going to be all cash. Don't do
Yeah.
that. Seriously, get help, get the right steps in place.
Hey, if I'm freaked out about this and I
Mhm.
kind of want, I just need a little, maybe the flyover, the 30,000 foot flyover. Can I like schedule an appointment with you and like just do a quick run through and go, okay, you look like the Titanic right now and you need a little bit of help, or, hey, you're on the right track. You need to tweak a few things. Could I do something like that with you?
Absolutely. All you
How
have
do
to
I
do is
do it?
all you have to do is go to catsconsultants.com, top right corner of the website, click on schedule an appointment. You'll go to
Mhm.
my calendar and you can schedule a breakthrough session. And let's just talk about it. We do that for free.
Mhm.
And I get every week, I get all kinds of doctors jumping on my schedule when you can. My schedule's pretty busy. So, it may take you a week or two to get on it, but
Mhm.
um, jump on there. Let's have a chat about it. Let's, find out what you're doing, where you're at, where your concerns are, and maybe even how we can help you. But yeah, take advantage of that.
And here's why we do that, and here's why Dr. Perush and I are both passionate about what we do with cats, and Marissa and Patrick. I mean, we're not the only ones. We're just the ones that happen to
Right.
be on the podcast right now. But I will tell you why we're passionate about what we do, and we're not afraid to sit down and talk with you for an hour and show you the keys to the castle, because we want you to be successful in practice. We want you to do it the right way. And here's what I want. I want you to be satisfied and enjoying yourself. I
Right.
do not want you to be miserable in practice. You can make as much money as you want in chiropractic. There's a ton of money to be made. But I've also seen people miserable making a ton of money. And
Right.
I've seen people that are super happy that just can't figure out how to make any money. And then they end up out of practice or working for, they become an auto mechanic or something. I don't know. But I don't want you to be there. I want you to enjoy yourself in practice. I want you to have passion for your patients, but then get paid what you should get paid for doing it. You should be well compensated for the wonderful heroic care that you give to patients. And I'm going to say
Amen.
that because I saw a deal the other day about medical doctors treating patients with COVID and how heroic they were. I'm not going to disagree that people are stepping into harm's way trying to help people that are sick right now. But chiropractors, you've done the same thing.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
think about that, you're heroes too. You deserve to be compensated for what you do, but you also deserve to enjoy the life that you're in. You enjoy the practice that you're in. So that's why we do what we do. We'll spend an hour talking to you because we care, not because we're going to try to coerce you into some, lifetime plan with
Nope.
Cats Consulting. That's not why we're doing what we do. The hour that we spend with you is because we care about you and we want to know more about your practice. And is there something we can do to help you? So there's my little rant about why we do what we do, but we are more than happy to sit down and spend time with you and find out more about your practice.
Yeah.
So if they want to do that, again, catsconsultants.com, you can jump on there. If you have a question for us, Troy at catsconsultants.com. Cats with the K, right? You guys probably know that already.
Troy
If you've
with
been
a
listening
T.
to our podcast, Troy with a T. There we go. So,
Yeah, Troy at catsconsultants.com. Send your questions in. We get lots and lots of questions every week. So I know Troy has to sift through them all, but
yeah,
we won't embarrass you, I promise.
no,
But everybody's got great questions, and we appreciate all those that are sent in each week. So
yeah,
this is a good one. Jose, thank
yeah, it
you.
was.
Appreciate it. So I guess with that, we'll sign off here. So everybody, thanks for tuning in to the KC CHIROpulse podcast, brought to you by Cats Consultants, helping chiropractors keep their pulse on success. On behalf of all of us here at Cats Consultants, stay well and be adjusted.
Have a great week.